There is no emotion in written script, in written text, in written words. Someone might read, "I feel sick." Another person might come along and read the exact same words as, "I feel sick." Someone might read, "My son is crazy." Another person might come along and read these exact same words as, "My son is crazy." Same words, but two different meanings. When we are reading social media, when we're reading a Facebook post, we can never jump to conclusions. For example, we might read someone's post, "I love dogs," and therefore jump to the conclusion that this person hates cats because they're a dog person. No, what we should do is read a number of this person's posts over time, and after reading this number of posts, we develop a trend, we develop a theme concerning this person. This person is this way, that person is that way, for example. So we can never jump to conclusions with social media, but rather we must read a number of posts, and from this number of posts we develop a trend. We never really reach a conclusion with social media because the person is always evolving. The person who is posting is always evolving. We can never really jump to a conclusion. This person therefore is this way because on this particular post and on that particular post, she said that, he said this. No, people are continually evolving. And unless they say something that is black and white, unless they say something that is black and white, we never really know what their true colours are. Just jokes. Never. This indeed is the same with Holy Scripture. We can never go through the Bible and pick a particular verse and use this particular verse to support this political way or that political way, this social position or that social position. We can't even get a number of verses from Holy Scripture, put them together, and therefore use it to our advantage. No, the Bible is such a huge, massive thing, a huge, massive text, that we can't be nitpicking particular verses and using them, for our own whatever, our own politics, our own social thing, our own persuasion, whatever it is. In the Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, in these Synoptic Gospels, it was after when Jesus cleared the temple. He turned the tables over. The people selling the doves and the people selling the other offerings that were used in this temple as sacrifices for Yahweh. When Jesus turned the temples and left the temple, outraged by what these merchants were doing inside his Father's house, we hear about how Jesus curses the fig tree. At the time, Jesus wanted something to eat, and the fig tree had no fruit. Jesus cursed the fig tree, and the following day, the disciples found that this fig tree had withered and died and was no more. We can't use this passage and say that Jesus therefore hated trees and he had a particularly strong hatred for trees that did not bear fruit, particularly when Jesus wanted something to eat after clearing out a temple of merchants, people who were selling things in his Father's house. No, we can't at all. We can't use this particular verse, even though it's found in three Gospels, in the Synoptic Gospels. We can't use this particular verse to say that Jesus was a hater of trees. What we find when we read the whole of Scripture, the whole of the Gospels, including John, what we find is that Jesus was never a hater of trees. And this too is the same for any hate. We can never use the Bible to support hate. We can never use the Bible to put down minority groups in society, for example. We must always read the whole of the text, and we can never jump to conclusions.